2 years. It's been 2 years of us sitting in front of these microphones with almost the exact same setup, probably better audio quality, me, a lot less hair. You, same amount of hair. But today it's really like, we don't have an agenda today. This is where we just kind of like talk about all the things that are going on in the world today as it relates to what business, AI, automation, like all the major things.
Getting some feelings out.
Yeah. What really grinds my gears. So with that, let's dive in and let's chat about all things.
Yeah. We're back with another episode of Biz Meds. My name is Saad.
And my name is Darris.
We're your neuroscience business coaches and hosts for the show.
And we're here to bring you the maximum effective dose today.
Maximum effective dose for your feelings and the reality and the state of the world.
The rage bait episode.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't really have any type of agenda today.
Yeah.
It's really like we haven't done one in a while, actually quite a long time, where we're just sitting here and talking about all the things that are going on in the world and kind of like does that impact so like what are we seeing, what are we reacting to, all those things. I think it's just nice every once in a while just have a conversation and shoot it
theorize,
live.
Figure out what's going to happen, like how it's going to impact the world.
Yeah, like right now in the current state of things, at the time of our recording, there may or may not be a ceasefire with Iran and the United States. Yeah. The Strait of Hormuz may or may not be open. There may or may not be all sorts of things happening going on, and it really doesn't matter. You actually mentioned this right before we started recording, was that like, hey, have you heard about Project Glasswing? And so it's like, yeah, very interesting enough. I mean, like, I don't think we claim to be experts in this part of it, right? Because right now I think it's just still early on. Yeah. With the, Anthropic having developed their new model, which is Mythos.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Mythos. So depending on that, I assume which is from from the Greek. Yeah. But having that, essentially they locked it and basically tasked it with escaping. And it basically launched a series of code exploits that they never knew were possible and had freed itself. Yeah. And now we're releasing it. I think if I understand this correctly, it's Project Glasswing have released it to like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, like Google, all that. Kind of like all the big guys that have most of the probably at-risk infrastructure, like technology infrastructure out there, to allow them to run this, to find out all their security exploits that haven't been found so far, to allow them to address those so that if they do release this, that people, nefarious actors, as it were, people with less than ideal intentions would use that to then kind of like take down all that infrastructure.
Yeah. And I was reading a couple of tweets about like people that are involved in it. Also, do you still say tweets or do you say a couple of X's?
That brings up a very different connotation for me.
Exactly.
A couple of X's ago.
Yeah, I was reading a couple of X's. I still say tweets. Anyway.
I think most people do. It's embedded in our DNA now.
It just seems more natural. So.
It'll become a thing where we say it now, but then other generations down the road, it's like, call me. Yeah. Like, what does that mean? It's like, for all of us who grew up with phones that were connected to a wall, like you had a receiver that would look like that.
Yeah, exactly. So reading a couple of tweets and people are talking about like when they're testing it, the stuff they're finding out. There's code that they built and there's protection that they created around some infrastructure that was bulletproof according to them back in the day. And now this is finding holes into all of those possible like or previously bulletproof security. Yeah. And the goal is obviously to like help them get ahead of that because people will and absolutely will use it for nefarious purposes. Yeah. It's the reason why I wanted it, or like the purpose of us talking about it is like I believe that even small businesses are at risk.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
100%.
you will absolutely need to.
You use Microsoft, you use Google, you use Facebook,
And
you
you-
like
yeah.
right. You have an iPhone. Like
Yeah.
even if you have an Android, you're using Google, you're using iPhone, like using Apple. So
Exactly. Yeah. And some of us were making a joke recently saying like the most secure thing today is your little black notebook. Like
it is. It really is.
you know, they cannot hack your little black notebook.
Yeah.
So all this, I feel like the very, very secure stuff, people will feel like, okay, you know, maybe start writing it back down and like putting it in a little black book, which again, I don't recommend ever, because it is still a lot easier for me to break into your office than to break into your
Depends.
computer.
Really
Yeah.
depends now.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's also this idea, and this has been around for a while, and I can't confirm it. I mean, just what's out there is that everything that touches the internet has a 0-day exploit. If you don't know what a 0-day exploit means, look it up. But it's basically like there is an exploit, so you could have theoretically some attack that could like take it down.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's something that you can't protect against that is written into it that it could like just be shut down. So.
Well, and going back to us like constantly talking about the technologies, things improving and everything, do you really believe that there isn't, with the growth that we're seeing right now, like do you believe that it will always be 100% secure? That the design of the technology is to get better and improve and all that. So
there is no perfect.
Yeah.
There is no perfect model for security, right?
No.
Like there's only steps that you can take. There's only mitigation steps that you can take from for physical, digital, like in any scenario, there's only certain steps you can take. There's no foolproof.
Yeah.
Right. Because even let's say you remove it to kind of the real world, there's still such things as it's basically I'm just pretending to be someone, right? Like it's like anyway,
the best example I can come up with is like when we lived in an era where cannons were like the insane weapon. You built walls, right? Like it protects you.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
And you can still hit it with enough cannons to take your wall down.
Exactly. But today, if you throw a bomb at that wall, bye-bye wall.
Well, the missile's coming in,
Like,
and it's going to incinerate that.
So you come up with the next way of protecting yourself, which is like bunkers and stuff. But there's also bunker busters now, right? Like it's always growing. So.
Yeah, but you can also hack people, right? In terms of like, logic, hey, I'm going to, it's that whole idea. I'm going to show up. Basically, if you show up to a business or anywhere and you have a safety vest on, a hard hat, and a clipboard, most people won't even question. You can get access to a lot of places, right? And so it's like, oh, all right.
You seem like,
you have attacks where people call in, they pretend to be someone else, and they get valuable information a little bit of a time, enough to compromise the system and get access. Yeah. So like there's all sorts, there's no foolproof way. So you may have the most comprehensive digital access, but if it still resides with a human, you can still influence that human being and get access to it, right? So you just have to be aware of all those things.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is actually related to anything we're talking about.
Well, it's just
related. What's going on in the world. It's all related.
It's all related to like, business and the impacts on businesses and like how, again, going back to like the attention part of things, like people are not paying attention to what's actually could impact their the growth of their business, their staff.
You have to be aware of these things to see, could they impact me, and need to take steps to help kind of prevent that as much as possible.
And I guess like my thought process on like, or at least what I'm understanding that the goal of this conversation is, because there's still so many businesses that are not taking this seriously at all. They're not considering what the impacts and implications of AI and automation and all these coming. They're still treating us. Remember when we were talking about like how changes would take anywhere between 1 year to 2 years to implement. Then it came down to like between 0 to 1 year and like getting smaller and smaller. These iterations, again, between the last time we talked to Project Glasswing coming out.
Yeah.
It's so fast. I didn't even think about that possibly being
like achievable in such a
such a short time. So it's happening super fast. other thing I quickly want to share is like we're talking
You're
about.
preventing me from having my blood boil. Now I'm cooling down again.
No, if you want to get
no,
it's
fine.
just a completely different. So right now, the other thing that's also happening is there's so many people that are out of work, like because of all of this automation. There's employment is getting pretty high. The skill gap required from junior, like there's not. When I say employment is all-time high, I mean like new graduates are the least desired.
Well, I mean, new graduates. I mean, we have so many fucking diplomas out there that are completely useless
and mean nothing.
Right? They don't mean anything. You can buy them. They like the admission standards have keep coming down. I think for me, this is perfect. This will get me going. We're good now. We are good. So I think we have a lot of things happening that are contributing to that. One, we're not getting smarter, right? No. We keep lowering standards and making it easier and easier for everyone to get in. And as a result, we have less and less standards, right? The standards get lower and we have poor performers and wondering why. Like, guess what? When you start to raise the standard, you raise the expectation, you have to rise to that. And it takes work. It takes grit. It takes skill to achieve that. And we've become societies where we reward you just for fucking trying. I'm sorry. You don't get a reward for fucking trying. Life doesn't reward you just for like showing up, right? Like you have to try harder and you have to fucking do it. Yep. Right. And if that means you fail a million times, you just keep getting up and keep doing it like that. Like that's what you get rewarded for. Not like, hey, I just showed up and it's like, I think that's what I really meant to say was you don't get reward just for showing up. Yeah. Like you actually have to put some skin in the game and do things, but we continually make it easier and easier and easier. We become more and more tolerant. And as a result, we let the intolerant, we tolerate intolerance, right? And we break down society as a whole because we don't have standards anymore. And so everything goes, everything's fine, everything's wonderful. And then as a result, nothing is great. We have governments that are not left in check. They have become they perpetuate their own self-interest. Bureaucracies perpetuate their own self-interest. We no longer feel connected to those that we allow to govern us. We don't know democracy or what that is anymore because the government tells us what that is. And as a result, they can spend as much money as they want. They tax us more and more. We just continue to give them more and more money. They dilute the value of our money. And we, in effect, we think things are getting more expensive, but it's actually not. It's just taking more and more dollars to buy the same thing because the governments continue to spend money that they don't have and borrow from things or from entities that somehow they owe producing, right? Yeah. And it's like, so, and we've lost our way in being able to, like, on so many levels, have just kind of allowed things to degrade and wonder why, like, there's such a disparity. Well, of course, there's going to be unemployment where every kind of like major shift in society, there's going to be the ones, if you're not positioning yourself to see what's coming down the road and actively move yourself to acquire new skills, well, what do you want? Yeah. Right? Like, oh, no, I'm just going to be here and everyone else will provide for me. Like, how does that work? Exactly. Right? We've gone away from a meritocracy, like where you actually like judge me by the content of the character and the things that I do versus, oh, well, here, just, it's okay. You deserve this. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why do you deserve what I work my ass off for? Exactly. I'm more than happy to help my fellow human, and I love my fellow human. But you have to be willing to help yourself. But like, you also have to like have some skin in the game. Yeah. Right. And so it's like, well, cool. We have more and more graduates. We got more and more useless fucking diplomas out there. Yeah. And so how was that? Obviously super passionate about that. That's why I didn't interrupt. But the where I was going with that story was because technology is advancing so much, all of these students are becoming victims of like these new AI scams. So they'll apply to these jobs and somebody will send out like an application form. And if you put in say like you're asking for $70,000 starting salary,
they're like, yeah, job granted, you'll make $70,000. Please fill out this banking like direct deposit information. We need that and all that. And these people are getting scammed. They're getting
banks emptied
yeah,
out.
they're getting their banks emptied out because they're falling for these like new AI startup companies. Because it is the biggest hype right now. And again, going back to like the attention and not realizing like what is actually happening around the world, people that are trying to utilize this, they will utilize it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
You as one, the business owner, or as one, like the person getting into the industry, you need to be aware of what's happening, because these are the new skills, new tools that everybody's utilizing. But if you're going to school and, coming back with like a quote unquote useless diploma that doesn't actually teach you the real life skills, you're going to be a victim of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to feel. I mean, I feel empathetic to the situation. I feel less empathetic, or I feel less bad if you are not actively involved in your own progression, right? If you are the perpetual victim mentality, I don't have a lot of patience for that, right? But if you are willing to go in and do hard work and put yourself out there and learn new skills, I'm like, yeah, I fully support that, right? You're taking an active role in your own progression and your own destiny, 100%. Like, I will support that all day long. I'll mentor you. I'll support you. I'll give you the benefit of like a lot of things. But if you don't, I'm like, you're telling me that you believe you're somehow entitled to something that's not yours. And unfortunately, like that's probably, in my opinion, is that's where bulk of society has now shifted towards, is that somehow people are just somehow entitled to things. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No. When my kids were little and like very young, did I want to go and spend my time away from them and, pray that in a very hard manual job, did I pray that a plane would fall from the sky and land on us and kill us all because like life was miserable? I mean, like, you talk to me when you reach that point, right?
Yeah.
And still push forward. I'm not saying that to like my world's so bad or anything, but it's like you're involved in your own destiny and what you choose to do. And if you're not willing to put in anything to it, then you deserve what you get.
Exactly.
Maybe that's a really harsh way of looking at it. What are you gonna do?
Hey, this is black shirt.
This is black shirt.
There's no.
This is double black shirt. This is
exactly.
This is this is a monumental meeting of the
of the passions and the angers and the grind my
the blood
gear
boiling.
episodes.
Yeah. Hey, it's I think it's just a state of everything, right? And then that breeds, like, if you think about it, I think there's as a whole, you get a lot of people who are just, they think they're doing so much work, and yet they don't have the results for it. And it's like, but are you really trying that hard? Like, are you really like pushing yourself? Are you letting yourself off the hook? And that's why I think it's good to do hard things, because then you realize just, oh, I do that. That's actually like, okay, it felt hard, but it wasn't like I survived. I didn't die.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
you're capable so much more than you believe you are.
Exactly.
And like, that's part of the thing, is like, you do hard things because then you can do hard things, and you can do much harder things, and you get much better.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of people, what I'm finding is that exactly what you said, like they'll do the one hard thing and they'll realize they survive, but they'll only do it once. Yeah. They're like, oh fuck, I did that hard thing. Remember? I did that hard thing. It's on my resume now.
Yes.
Like, I did that hard thing. Like, that doesn't instill enough confidence in me. I need you to keep doing the hard things, or build some repetition around doing those hard things before I can feel like you're ready.
Well, there's now a harder thing that you need to go do.
There's the next hard
There's
thing.
the next harder thing.
There's the next hard thing.
And guess what business is all about? You just go from solving hard things to harder things and bigger things and harder things. Like, that's all it is. That's the progression of business. And it's the most thankless fucking job in the world, because the people that work for you don't fucking care.
No.
They don't give a shit.
They just want,
They don't care that you're like,
yeah.
all you get as the owner is shit. Like, that's all you're dealing with is everyone's problem. You're just dealing with problems constantly. No one cares. The fact that they have a paycheck every week and all the things, they don't care about. I mean, we'll say, of course they care on a level, but like they don't appreciate and understand what it takes, that your day is literally just filled with solving fucking problems because they bring all your problems to you.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And everyone's problems come to you, and that's your role.
And that's why the percentage of people that are entrepreneurs or business owners is so small.
Well,
successful ones.
Well, I was going to say there's a lot that start out, but they don't have the fortitude.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize how hard it is, and that it is a hard thing to stay in the game just to solve problems nonstop, and never feel like you're getting the benefit of solving those problems.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that claim to be like, oh yeah, I'm a really successful business owner, but they're one of one, and they're not business owners.
They own a job.
Yeah, they own a job. Yeah.
And that's fair. I mean, like, you start somewhere, but don't delude yourself, right?
Yeah.
Don't delude yourself. You may have a corporation, right? You may have a company that's legally registered, but that's not necessarily what we define as a business. A business is something that would operate without you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you went away, what would happen to it? Well, then
you're not making any money that time. Yeah.
So that's fine. Just don't delude yourself to thinking you have this amazing business.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, wow.
Talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we kind of went full circle. We went from mythos and
what's the state of the world, what's going on, students coming into the industry,
all these dumb students. I also, my last part about the students is the one thing that I see myself back in the day was being young, having a lot more ego in the game, and thinking just because I had some technical or some knowledge meant that I had enough context and real world experience to wrap it around. So what I knew was I had some knowledge about something. I didn't have wisdom around what to do and how to approach it. And that just because there's a way to do something, like there's an outcome, but there's multiple ways to get there that are actually can be more effective than trying to think you just bulldoze right to that. Right. Yeah. And the irritation I have with younger people now is that they're so full of this ego, and they don't have that. And it's like, you almost need to have that proverbial like life smackdown to be humbled, to know that you don't actually know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I've recently been coaching some university students just as a way to give back.
I hope they watch this.
And I'm hoping so too, because like I do want the best for them, but the thing that they're struggling with is exactly what you said, is like this ego where like, oh, I have so much to offer to you. No, you don't.
No,
like,
what you have is time and grit.
Yeah.
Like that's what you have to offer me.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And just because you have some technical experience or technical expertise does not make you somehow knowledgeable in all the things, right? It doesn't make you great at communicating. It doesn't make you great at being able to work with many different people, to influence people, to understand the dynamics of things, because your ego is so fucking big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So. Take a deep breath.
All right. So with that, the maximum effective dose is that if you're young, you're dumb. Just kidding. We go back to framework, right? Is ego's the enemy. First and foremost, like, don't be a victim. Don't cast your power to things that you have complete control over, and don't externalize things. Like, learn what's within your control, what's not within your control, and focus on the things that you can control. And that's usually, can you learn something? Can you keep pushing forward? Can you develop other skill sets? Can you become a better human being? Like, all those things. Like, there's a lot of, like, can you change? Can you determine how you choose to react to a situation? Absolutely. Like, all these things are within your control. And if you don't believe they're within your control, you're a fucking victim. Fuck you. Right? Like, that's what I have to say to that. But if you are willing to be humble and willing to put yourself in the line of fire and do hard things, like, the world is yours. Like, everything is available to you. And you may not know how to do it all right away, but you will start to attract people that are very similar, and you will start to run in different circles, and suddenly many more things will be available and appear much more achievable. And if you do that, but it all starts with you, right? That's why I look at the world and I'm like, okay, cool. All this stuff is happening. All right. I know where my faith is. I also know like I can control what I can control. Right. And I know I can't control the things I can't control.
Yeah.
I can't control what somebody tweets on X. I can't control, what some nefarious actor does. All I can control is what I can control day to day. Exactly. Right. And that's what I focus on. Yeah. So with that, that's your maximum effective dose for what is 2 years of recording this Biz Meds podcast. So we want to thank everyone. 2 years, you're still listening to us ramble on week to week. It's definitely a mother's love. Saad's mom, love you. Mom, Saad's mom, love you. Thank you so much. Everyone that has been on this journey, thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you just joined us, buckle up. There's going to be many more years of this coming to you live from the interwebs via YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts and digest them. We're going to be there. So with that, we love you. We thank you so much. We're Biz Meds. My name is Darris.
And I'm Saad.
And we gave you your maximum effective dose today. And with that, remember, you're just one day away from living the life you've always dreamed about. But it starts with you. It starts with a decision. It starts with you. Stop being a victim for yourself and your family. So with that, we love you. Thank you. We'll see you in the next episode.